Over the recent months, Marathon Digital stock skyrocketed. It was up over 240% the last couple months until a couple days ago when it dropped over 35% due to something they said in their Q3 earnings report. So what's really going on with Marathon Digital stock? In this video, I'm going to be talking about why Mara dropped so heavily, and I'll go in depth on the SEC investigation. I'll also talk about what is going to happen next with this stock. Stick till the end of this video because I'll be revealing what I plan to do with my position on Mara. Let's get it. So first of all, Marathon Digital is a company that essentially just mines Bitcoin at its core. So it's no surprise that this stock is going to be volatile just like crypto. We can see a constant pattern with Mara where it makes big runs but also crashes pretty heavily. Also though, Marathon Digital released some pretty killer Q3 earnings. They reported a non-GAAP EPS of 85 cents per share when the expectation was only 43 cents per share. That is a killer profitability report. They absolutely blew it out of the park with that one. However, they did miss on revenue expectations by a little bit because they had an expected revenue of $67 million, but they ended up only reporting a revenue of $52 million. That revenue number was still a 6,000% year-over-year revenue increase, which is respectable. It's no surprise that Mara was so profitable this quarter because Bitcoin made a run back up to about the same level of its all-time highs, and it's been hovering near the $60,000 range recently. And obviously, like we've talked about before in my previous videos, Mara becomes more profitable and more efficient with their miners as the price of Bitcoin goes up. Now, the bombshells dropped in the earnings report when they mentioned that the SEC is also currently investigating them. The SEC is investigating whether or not the current investors have been violating federal securities laws. Now, personally, I don't really like to invest in companies that are getting caught up in SEC troubles, but let's find out more about this. So the investigation is focused on Marathon's deal with Beowulf Energy to build a data management facility in Montana, which is basically supposed to provide energy for operating Bitcoin mining servers. What the SEC is more focused on with this deal is their issuance of 6 million shares of restricted common stock to fund this deal. If this investigation turns out poorly, it could have repercussions and problems with them getting cheap energy rates with Beowulf Energy, which could definitely be a big problem for Marathon. Hey, sorry for interrupting the video. I just wanted to remind you guys to subscribe if you like what you see, because only 97.3% of you are subscribed right now. Honestly though, I need to do a little bit more research on the SEC investigation, but I'm not too worried about it because Marathon Digital says everything is under control, and if it was a bigger problem, I feel like they would have said something about it earlier than their earnings release. That's just an opinion though, and I definitely need a little bit more data and research before I reach a full conclusion. Also, on top of the SEC news, another reason the stock plummeted was because Marathon's senior convertible debt offering changed from $500 million to $650 million, which often upsets investors because it increases a company's leverage while also diluting its equity. And one thing I can tell you about the stock market is I hate when my equity gets diluted. But what I want to add though is that their debt to equity ratio has been around 0 for a while, and it should stay below 1 after the offering is closed. So as an investor, getting diluted shouldn't be too much of a worry. So many of you are wondering what I'm doing with my Mara position. Just as a disclaimer, I have about 13% of my portfolio right now allocated to Mara, but I did have an average buy-in price of $33 per share. Generally, if I had over a tenth of my position in one stock and the stock was getting investigated by the SEC, I would probably trim that position down. But in this case, since I'm sitting at a 66% gain on my position, I'm going to just keep my position in Mara as is. I'm not too worried about losing money on this stock since I still have such a high margin between my buy-in price and the current price. Mara also tends to be a volatile stock. It has been moving in the upward direction over a long period of time, so I feel that if the SEC investigation goes smoothly, this stock will definitely recover and reach all-time highs around $80 per share. To be transparent though, if I do find really negative information on the SEC report, I'll probably close some of my positions on this stock, but as of now, I'm not planning on changing anything. If I do though, I'll be sure to make a video on it. That's all I had for this video. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Thiru Show. Subscribe to the channel, or don't, I don't know. Peace.